Okay, tonight on whatever this is, it's Wednesday night, so this is when I usually do the Mac to the Future livecast, but everything is just all jumbled around. I'm on the road. I'm not where I usually am. I'm not using the microphone that I normally do, though I do like this microphone very, very much. So this is my mobile setup with just one microphone since, I'm by myself. Just the one camera. Now, once I get to Macstock, things were going to change up a little bit, and I will have a few more little gigas going on. So thank you all for those of you that are here for joining me tonight, and we're going to do what we can and have a little bit of fun with this. So stay tuned. Okay, it is the Mac to the Future livecast. I am doing everything I can to make this work a little bit, just work a little bit. That's really the key here. And I'm doing this off of my laptop, so I don't have my two screens set up here. I don't have my wonderful Heil PR40 microphone and all my setup that I've got over there. But what I do have is this microphone right here. Now I am using the same camera. This is the same camera that I use at home, though I'm usually a lot closer. This is my Logitech webcam, and if I'd had a little more time, I guess I could have tightened it up a little bit, came in a little bit closer and all the rest of that, but I think it's still going to work. And this is my Lecture Voice ND767A microphone. It's connected to my Behringer UMC 404 HD, and it's going through a Fed head, and it's just all kinds of goodness. But what's really going on today is the long drive that got me here. So the original plan was to get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, East Coast time, 4 o'clock in the morning, and get ready to go. I'd already packed the car last night. I had Guy give me a hand because of my messed up knee a little bit, so all of my tech stuff that I'm either giving away or selling, I've got in the car, or actually it's here in the room right now. And this is all the stuff that I was taking with me to Macstock 2018 in Woodstock, Illinois. So I get all that in the car. I pack my bag with all the clothes, and I get that into the car. So really, all I had was a small little bag that I needed to have a few last minute tech items, like the camera, for example, and this little thing right here. I don't have it connected. This is a cheap GoPro copy. It's not that great of a GoPro copy, but it is, it does work. And what I need to do is get a USB hub that I can attach to the computer so that I can have both this webcam and that one connected up, along with the Behringer when I get out there. I'm going to see if anybody brought an extra monitor so that I can kind of keep track of things that way. If for whatever reason they don't, then I'll just deal with it as best I can. But anyway, so like I said, the original plan was to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I'm sorry, Warren. I don't have my Warren. I don't even know if I could. I think if I tried with the bandwidth I have here to bring you in via Skype, that it would just go to complete crap. So we'll have to try it again maybe this weekend while I'm at Macstock. But I mean, I'm already getting warnings in Mimo Live related to bandwidth with just the little thing that I'm doing here. Anyway, I'm sorry, Warren. Next week will be, well, so yeah, will I be back? I'll be back by then. So next week we should be back to the regular Mac to the Future live cast. It won't be this weird conglomerate of stuff that I'm trying to do. But that was the original plan, was to get up at 4 a.m, do a couple things, pack up the last minute items, get in the car, and be out the door by 5 p.m. Sorry, 5 a.m. What ended up happening was I woke up at 2:30 in the morning this morning, and couldn't go back to sleep. And I was like, if I wait for this alarm clock to go off, it's just going to wake up everybody in the house, because Guy was there. Peter had spent the night because he was visiting with some friends. And of course, Tracy would have been woken up and was like, I'm not going to do this. So I just went ahead and got up, turned off the alarm clock, made a pot of coffee, and went downstairs and started doing the computery stuff that I was going to do before I left. Then, about 4:15, 4:30, I went upstairs and I got dressed, cleaned up a little bit, did my best not to wake anybody up, got all the stuff together that I needed, took it out to the car, and then came back in, said goodbye to Tracy, woke her up very, very briefly. And then I was on my way. I was on my way by like 10 to 5. So the original plan of leaving before 5 o'clock was still on. Yeah. So I start driving, and it turned out to be a pretty good idea, because there was like no traffic at all in the DC area getting up that early. So actually, I'm going to take these off. So I get through the DC area with absolutely no problem at all. And as I'm heading north on 270, I'm still kind of trying to make up my mind whether I was going to go the southerly route or the northerly route, taking the Pennsylvania Turnpike and the Ohio Turnpike and the Indiana Turnpike, or going south, taking 70 all the way across all three states. And as it turns out, that's what I did. I went the southerly route and went through West Virginia, Maryland, and then into, it was, I'm not really quite sure how it works, because I got onto 70 off of 270 in Maryland, and then I got onto 68, Interstate 68, and I went for a while, and then I was in Pennsylvania, and then somehow ended up in West Virginia, and then back in Pennsylvania, and then in West Virginia again as I crossed over into Ohio. I don't know. Maybe it was just the early morning hours. I couldn't figure out whether I was coming or going, or but I knew I was heading in the right direction. I had CarPlay set up in the Kia. This was like the first long trip that I've taken in the new car, and it was very, very comfortable. Now I did have, I don't think I have it up here, I had a knee brace that I've been wearing the last couple days. I didn't put it on. I figured if I'm going to have problems with my knee, then I would go ahead and put it on then. But if I could kind of tough it out and not have a brace on, that was going to, slow me down and all the rest of that might be better to try it that way. So I didn't put the brace on. As it turned out, I didn't need it all day. Every time I stopped, I would, very gingerly get out of the car and walk around a little bit, and I was always kind of limping a little bit as I first started. But once I started moving, and and the knee and everything else started to loosen up, I was fine. I was good to go. I'm going to check over here in the Mac to the Future group. Okay, no one is talking there, so we'll go back over here to this side. So, stop for breakfast. I've already recorded. I was going to record a third Guy's Daily Drive, but I only recorded 2. Or actually, that's not even really true. I recorded 4. I recorded 4 Guy's Daily Drives. The first 2 are completely unusable because the little tiny microphone that I got, it was cheap. It kept it just basically stopped working. That microphone worked for like 1 or 2 videos, and then it just stopped. It doesn't work anymore, and the voice breaks up, and so I can't use that. So instead, I used the Apple earbuds with the built-in microphone that I got with my iPhone 8X, no, just 8, and that allows me to have relatively pain-free, quiet audio going in. It just looks kind of weird because I got this one earbud in my ear and it's hanging down, but it does work. So I guess I shouldn't complain. So let's see. I stopped for breakfast. I stopped and did all the things that I need to do. It actually was a relatively painless trip. I got pretty far. I'm in Lafayette, Indiana right now. I'm thinking that I ended up doing a grand total of around 500 miles, between 500 and 600 miles, and I've got another. No, let me take that back. I did over 600 miles because I've got just about 200 miles to do tomorrow to get to Woodstock. So that's going to be a piece of cake after today. So the the car was great. It was very, very comfortable. I basically, once I got up to highway speed and there wasn't too much traffic, I just put it on cruise and kept me from losing my mind. Listen to a bunch of podcasts, listen to a little bit of music. I went to listen to audiobooks, but for some reason, all the audiobooks that I have in iTunes would not play. They showed up. They were there in audiobooks for CarPlay, but every single one of them that hit would not play. And it said, we're sorry, we can't play this file, but we can't find, or, it wouldn't play it, and it didn't matter what I did. So, didn't have any audiobooks, and I will probably look into that tomorrow before I start the second part of the trip that's going to actually take me to Woodstock, Illinois. Now, once I'm there, I'm going to be getting together, hopefully, depending on what time I get to Woodstock, get together with Mike Potter, who's the head honcho and organizer for the Macstock conference. He and Barry Falk kind of set the whole thing up 4 or 5 years ago. And see what help he needs, or what I can do to help while I'm there. And then, unfortunately, on Friday, they can't get into the facility to set up cameras and all the rest of that until 2:00. So I won't be able to help them because at 2:00 I will be at O'Hare Airport because I'm picking up Bob Levitas, Dr. Mack, who is the keynote speaker for the Macstock Conference and Expo. He's coming in just before 2:00, and then Kelly Gumont, who is she writes for the Mac Observer and many, many other sites. She's coming in about 2:30. So I'm going to cram these two people, and I've already talked to them about their luggage. It was like, okay, look, I need to know how much luggage you're going to have because I don't have the Ford Flex. I don't have this great big car that you can just put tons of stuff in. I've got this little tiny Kia Soul. But one of the things that I did do, I got it's this bag that kind of fits onto the crossbars on the roof that you can put some more stuff in. So hopefully I won't need it, but if I do need it, I'll have it in the car. And the car continues to surprise me. I was looking at the stuff that I had in the back, and I was trying to figure out, okay, well, once I get to Woodstock, I'll have to take these things out of the car so that I can go to the airport and have maximum amount of space so I can put luggage in and all the rest of that. But then I noticed that in the rear cargo area that it's all nice and flat, but there was this little like fabric-y kind of little flap sticking up. So I picked that up, and underneath that was these 3 laid out little compartments, and all the stuff that I had in the cargo compartment fit in these smaller compartments underneath. So I don't have to compromise. I can leave that stuff in there and still hopefully have enough room for all the stuff that that Bob and Kelly are going to have. So that's basically it. And then Friday night, of course, will be the first get together of weekend pass holders and the speakers. That it's going to be at the official Macstock Conference Hotel. Anyone here who is, where's my notes? Can't find my notes. There they are. Anyone here who is going to the Macstock Conference and Expo, a lot of this stuff is going to be happening at the Hampton Inn in McHenry. That's at 1555 South Route 31 in McHenry, Illinois. And there's a little place right around the corner from there called the Bulldog Ale House. And that's where the Friday reception is going to be for weekend pass holders and speakers. And then, of course, the conference itself will be at the Luch Conference Center in McHenry County College, July 21st and 22nd. There is all kinds of stuff planned. I've actually created a note and put that in Facebook for people who are going to the conference so that they can just copy it themselves as a note and, just head out and enjoy themselves. And they won't have to go online in order to keep track of what's going on. And wow, I am like so excited about being here at this conference this year. Tim and I are doing the MyMac game show quiz, and we've got Barry Falk and Bob Levitas, and I'm blanking, and I don't know why I'm blanking on his name. He's the founder of Mac Sales, of Otherworld Computing, and a lot of this is just because I am really, really tired. I've been driving all day. I drove until 5:30, 6 o'clock, leaving at 5, so about 12 hours, a couple of little rest stops here and there. I stopped and of course had lunch and had dinner and all the rest of that, but it was an exciting time, and it was a great drive, and I'm looking forward to being there at the conference, Macstock Conference and Expo. And I guess that's about it. If you guys have any questions for me, this would probably be a really, really good time. Larry O'Connor, yes, thank you, Yvonne. Can't believe I couldn't. I mean, I've known this guy for at least 10 years, maybe actually longer than that. And so I should have remembered his name. I don't know why I was blanking on his name. Thank you, Yvonne. I could play ads and all the rest of that, but there's really not much else to say. I'm really tired. It's been a long, long day. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of end this tonight. And I would say, thank you all for joining me. You still have time, if you're in the area, to make it to the Macstock Conference and Expo and join us in all the fun and frivolity that is going to be the Macstock Conference and Expo for 2018. You can also catch me, if you want to contact me, of course you can contact me here on the Books of Face, as well as over on Twitter. My Twitter name there is MacParrot. I have an email address, guy@mymac.com, probably. And what else? Well, besides the Mac to the Future livecast, I also do Guy's Daily Drive, and I will probably at least try to edit the 2 that I recorded that are actually usable, and see if I can get those uploaded over into the tubes of you tonight. And I guess that's going to be about it. So thank you all for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. And I will see you hopefully very, very soon.